Hello, you're watching BiTV European Service. I'm Ines Berger, and today we welcome Gunnar Herm, who is the Head of Real Estate Strategy and Research for Europe at UBS Asset Management. Hello, Gunnar.
Hello, Ines. Nice being here with you.
Thank you for joining us. So we've been through a health and economic crisis that has disrupted markets and brought an end to the commercial real estate cycle. As 2021 starts, what main trends do you see shaping for the sector for this year?
I think the main changes here will be that we see the big effects on the leasing markets in Europe. So in particular, retail sector, but also in the office sector. So corporates are preparing really now for the post-pandemic area. And here, I think we're seeing renegotiating of leases, pressure on rents, new leasing terms. So in the case of retail, probably more towards turnover rents. In the office sector, probably shorter leases, more flexible leases. That is probably a trend which has been in place before the pandemic, but is now really to accelerate in 21.
Right, and talking about those trends, what impact do you think they could have on valuation and pricing going forward?
It could have actually a serious effect on pricing and valuations, probably on valuations first, where with shorter leases and the income is then less predictable in the future, actually valuers have to respond to this, as also investors are likely to respond to this. If leases, for instance, in the shopping center market used to be kind of term and also on kind of 5 to 10 years, and if we go for really short term and turnover leases only, this has a significant effect on the pricing of future investors. So I think we are likely to see here a drop in valuation and pricing due to the shorter income streams in the market, and that obviously would also have then an impact on financing. And this altogether creates an environment where actually the valuations have to come down in a sense, but also a much broader polarization in valuation. So the prime segment of the market is likely to be less impacted by that. While I would say the bigger part of the market is probably 90% of the market is not prime, is likely to get impacted by that.
What level of activity do you expect on the capital markets? And do you see any possible recovery within the year?
Recovery is possible, but it's highly depending on how long all these lockdowns will last. You know, with the new proposed lockdown in the UK probably extending to the end of February, and in some other countries probably also at the same time, I think the expectation is that the investment volumes could be pretty low and the investment activity. But I expect as soon as those travel restrictions would be lifted, that more and more investors are actually able to visit and inspect the properties, we will see a recovery. But to really put a timing and time frame on this is very, very difficult. I think we were predicting recovery already, I would say, in the fourth quarter. But then we come to the second wave with the lockdown coming forward. This actually pushed it further down the road, and this could happen here as well. It's highly unpredictable, I would say. But the pent-up demand for investing in real estate is there because real estate still is relatively attractive to other asset classes.
And finally, I have one last question. Which European markets do you believe are set for quicker recovery?
I think the recovery depends on how strong actually the domestic investor base is. So, and it's not really about market opportunities. Again, here, people are not about to travel to foreign countries anytime soon. So for me, countries like France, like Germany, the UK, also the Netherlands, are likely to recover relatively quickly. Markets who are much more dependent of foreign capital in the market, like Spain, Portugal, to a certain degree also Italy, I think those markets are likely to lag in the recovery because of a less developed domestic investor base.
Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you very much.
See you all soon on BiTV.